All right, let's jump right into a really powerful idea. One that could honestly change how you make decisions like every single day.
I know, it's a kind of weird question, right? But stick with me. Research actually shows that most of us, well, we treat our future selves with this surprising neglect. It's almost like we think they're a totally different person. And there's a reason for this. It's this psychological quirk called temporal discounting. It's basically a fancy term for how our brains are wired to prioritize the now way more than the later. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's choosing that sugary snack right now instead of the healthy meal that's better for you in the long run. Or think about it like this, taking $100 today instead of 110 next month, which, when you think about it, is a pretty bad deal. But our brain just screams, take it now.
And isn't it funny? When we're talking to a friend, we give them this super thoughtful long-term advice. You should totally save for retirement, or you've got to prioritize your health. But for ourselves, we make these impulsive, short-sighted choices. It's like there's this huge gap between how we care for other people and how we care for, well, the person we're about to become.
So what's the deal? Why is this so hard? Well, it's not just that you lack willpower. Nope, it's actually baked right into our brain's wiring.
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. Scientists have done these neuroimaging studies, right? And when you think about yourself right now, a part of your brain just lights up like a Christmas tree. It's basically your brain's identity center screaming, yep, that's me. I'm the one that matters. But, and this is the crazy part, when they ask people to think about their future self, that same area of the brain, it often goes dark. It just goes quiet. It's literally as if your brain is looking at a complete stranger. And well, it's pretty easy to ignore a stranger's problems, isn't it?
So, in effect, your brain is treating your future self like someone else entirely. And think about it. You probably wouldn't saddle a stranger with a mountain of debt, right? Or wreck their health on purpose, but we kind of do that to our future selves all the time, without even thinking about it.
Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we get around this brain blind spot? It all starts with a huge mindset shift. This is the part where we stop just being victims of our brain's weird wiring and we actually start taking control. We become the architects of our own future. Okay, first things first, you've got to realize that your life right now, your health, your finances, your relationships, all of it, is basically an inheritance from your past self. All those choices that younger you made, yeah, you're living in the house they built, whether it's a mansion or, well, a bit of a fixer-upper. I mean, you are literally living with the consequences, both the good and the bad, of a person who used to be you. The skills you have, the great relationships in your life, even the cash in your bank account, that's all part of the inheritance your past self handed over. And here's the big pivot. Right now, in this moment, you are the ancestor. You are the one actively building the life that your future self is going to inherit. Every single choice you make today, it's either a deposit into their well-being or it's a withdrawal. And this is so critical because of something called path dependency. All that means is that the small, tiny choices you make today can really lock you into much bigger realities down the road. You know, skipping just one workout seems harmless, but it can kickstart a habit of just not moving. A tiny bit of debt, it can snowball into a total financial trap. The point is, this present moment has a power that the future just doesn't. So the big question is, how do we actually become better ancestors? How do we do right by that future person? Okay, let's get super practical. I've got a few simple tools that can make this whole idea real in your life. All right, tool number one, start with a really simple daily reflection. Just a habit to make this ancestor mindset stick. We're talking a few moments here, a quick question in the morning, a pause before a big decision, and a little check-in at night. Seriously, this alone can completely change the trajectory of your life. And at any of those decision points, big or small, just ask yourself this one question. It can completely reframe everything. It cuts right through all that I want it now temptation and connects you directly with the person who has to live with whatever you decide. Okay, next tool, this is for closing that gap between wanting to change and, actually changing. It's called implementation intentions, which sounds complicated, but it's just a simple if-then plan. The whole idea is to automate your good choices for those moments when your willpower is totally shot. So instead of some vague goal like, I'll exercise more, you create a super specific trigger and an automatic response. This totally removes the need for willpower in the moment. It's like you're setting a little trap, but it's a trap for your future self to fall right into success. Kind of brilliant, right? And you know, at the end of the day, this isn't about sacrificing your happiness now for some future reward. Not at all. It's about living right now with a sense of integrity, with kindness to yourself. It's about making choices today that you can look back on and be genuinely proud of. Because what's the greatest legacy you could possibly leave? It's the life of the most important person you'll ever meet, the one person you are guaranteed to spend the rest of your life with. They're going to live in the body you're shaping right now. They'll have the relationships you're nurturing today. They'll enjoy the freedoms or deal with the burdens you're creating. So look, your future self isn't some stranger. They're real, and they are depending on you. The choice is yours right now. So what are you building for them today?